Pro-abortion supporters firebombed a pro-life Christian pregnancy center yesterday near Buffalo, New York. The center suffered significant damage, with much of the interior of the building burned and destroyed. Repairs will cost hundreds of thousands of dollars and could take several months. Well, another pro-life center was targeted yesterday in North Carolina. Mountain Area Pregnancy Services in Asheville had its windows smashed and was spray painted with pro-abortion slogans. Pro-life centers have been targeted in 6 other states and Washington, D.C. And joining us now is Joe Bukuras, staff writer for EWTN's Catholic News Agency. Joe, welcome back. Great to see you. I know you've been reporting on these incidents. What more can you tell us, and does it seem like they may be related in some way?
Yeah, well, thanks for having me, Tracy. And before we get to those, I'd just like to report that I was just told by a volunteer at South Broward Pregnancy Help Center in Hollywood, Florida, that also was vandalized in a similar way that the two in North Carolina and New York was vandalized. So that's a developing story with more details to come. But so the New York Center, it was hit on Tuesday morning, early Tuesday morning. It was firebombed. As the CEO of the clinic says, it was hit with graffiti that says Jane was here. It had broken windows. And similarly, the one in North Carolina also was hit with graffiti, which said no forced birth, and if abortions aren't safe, neither are you, which we have seen in other vandalisms. And they had broken windows also, and an anarchist symbol, something that looks like an A with a circle around it.
This is all just so disturbing. Joe, what do you make of all this vandalism? I mean, you've been reporting on it.
Yeah, well, it's awful. And every time I talk to the CEOs of these clinics, the word they always use is heartbroken. They're heartbroken because these services, and there are about 3,000 of these clinics around the country, these services are often given at a very low cost to no cost at all. And they're just there to help women. They always tell me, we're just trying to help women. We're not a political organization. We're just here to serve. We don't understand why our clinic was hit. And, I just really feel for them when I'm talking to them. And it's so difficult hearing that over and over and over again, because this isn't a political issue. I mean, these people are just helping women. And so, yeah, they're just so heartbroken and some of them angry at what's happening. But what they do tell me is that they're not dissuaded by this violence that happens towards their clinics. They're always motivated, they're reminded of their mission, and they always say they're just going to keep going and keep serving women because that's exactly why they do what they do.
That is so great to hear, because I was going to ask you that, are they feeling intimidated or worried about their safety or the safety of their clients?
Yeah, I mean, again, they keep saying that when this happens, they're only reinforced in their mission. They're reminded of why they do what they do. And, we're in such a heated time in our country with the Dobbs case, obviously, planning to come out and expected to come out in late June or early July. And so there's high tensions in the country. And it reminds these clinic workers that they're there to help women. They're there to support women in a time of need, in a time of crisis in their lives. And that's really what the pro-life movement is all about. It's about supporting women and upholding the dignity of human life.
Yeah, and Joe, you had mentioned some of the graffiti that was written. It referenced a group. It said Jane was here. What more can you tell us about these radical, pro-abortion groups that are springing up and threatening pro-lifers?
Sure. So in the latest reports of vandalisms against pregnancy resource centers, the words, Jane was here, Jane's revenge, or Jane says revenge, they've all been seen at the scene of multiple vandalisms across the country. Who is this group? It's unclear right now who they are. There have been reports that, Jane's revenge, as people have begun to call them, that they get their name from a 1960s activist group called Jane Collective. And that group aimed to provide abortions to women while it was still illegal in the country. Also in a couple different online posts calling for violence in response to the Dobbs case that's planned to come out. The words Jane's revenge has been the signature at the bottom of those pages. So, is this an official group? Are they a nonprofit? I mean, I don't know. It doesn't seem that way. Are they copycat cases? Possibly. We're still looking into that right now. And but what we do know is that, those words keep popping up all around the country. So it's definitely something that we're keeping an eye on.
Joe, I'm curious, and I don't know if you've heard this or not, but, as we get closer to the Supreme Court releasing its opinion on Dobbs, are some of these pregnancy centers, are they doing anything to protect themselves, maybe stepping up security at all?
Well, I'm not sure about every single one, but I can tell you about the ones I have spoken with that they do have security measures in place. In fact, the one in New York, Compass Care, which is located in a suburb of Buffalo, they actually told me that morning that they got hit at 8 a.m. they had planned to put armored glass in preparation for all the violence that has been happening around the country. Now, obviously, they were vandalized before they could get that glass in, but it does seem like pro-life pregnancy centers are taking protective measures in the wake of violence, which has just struck the country awfully.
Yeah, it's really sad that we've gotten to this point. I know that you're going to continue to cover these stories. So, Joe, thank you so much for your reporting. It's important.
Thanks for having me.